To your point, Jonathan, I think looking at existing portfolios, I think you need to filter out customers, right? I think you can probably start by looking at who's been using our product for the last 5 years,
Yeah.
right?
And also
You
like
know.
who are those customers who are generating like the most amount of revenue for you, right? So
Absolutely.
there should be customers that who are absolutely ready to like buy from you. Those customers are ready to, allow you to generate revenue with very minimum cost. And then
Absolutely.
there are those customers who actually be loyal to you and talk about you,
Yeah.
talk about your services. So these are customers who you really want to have, right? You can have other customers, but they might not really be the best fit because they are customers, they take up some of your services, but they are also not in line with the vision that you have for your company. So they're probably
Absolutely.
building a service, using your services for a time, but they're not really going to be the super fans, the ones that you want to go and or the ones who would give reviews, the ones who would stand up for you on social media and talk about you, about your services, and they don't really go beyond a certain aspect. So yeah.
I think if you look at it, so basically, I recently did this exercise where I went and looked at the entire customer base and figured out we are good at closing banks. We are good at closing maybe telecommunications. We are good at closing government agencies. So I think that's where everything starts, right? You identify where we are good at closing. So if you have, let's say, if you have a portfolio of, let's say, 200 customers, and out of the 200 customers, 150 of them are banks, then obviously you know for sure we are good at closing banks. Then I think then you kind of branch that out into two different scenarios, whereas you know for a fact that, okay, what are the banks that are using our product at like the maximum, and then you'd also know what are the banks that are not using us the maximum. Then you can look at an expansion opportunity over there, then also probably look at key and upcoming markets, and then for example like India, and then you probably go and target the banks. Like we have, I don't know, thousands, maybe hundreds of banks, with thousands maybe overstating, but probably hundreds of banks, and you can probably go after them and target them. And I think the most important part over here is that also you need to, this is just not the only factor, right? I think you need to constantly talk to sales about what's going on in the market. They deal with customers on a constant basis. What are they hearing? And what are the problems that they are facing? And then, for example, if it is a government, then you would know regulations are there and how those regulations would impact these organizations and how can we pitch in, for instance. And another example is that similarly with banks and financial services, if you look at it, there are regulations, right? The government puts regulations, and then you need to adapt to it. Then you can see how can my product would fit into that whole regulation, and so on and so forth. I think uh, we've been discussing about this like in our previous chats as well. Whereas you need to have that close relationship with sales and pre-sales to sort of understand, get the insights and
Yeah, exactly.
and
I think you like kind of really hit the nail there, add in with, getting sales involved into really defining the characteristics of your ideal customer profile, right? So you need to have sales giving you input on, and we'll go through that process, right? How do you actually select your target accounts that you want to go after and build target account list based on your ideal customer profile? So your ideal customer profile gives you that characteristics that you want to see in potential accounts and customers. So you'd have a list of probably, or you would see like there's a lot of potential customers who are coming in as leads or they are banter, right? However, they probably might not be the perfect fit for your company as well,
Absolutely.
right? So you have to have proper conversations with sales to show them, look, these potential customers are an ideal fit for us, and therefore we possibly concentrate a lot of my resources, our time with spending with those ideal customer profiles, and this is basically your efficiency, right? It helps you